Email marketing drives more conversion than any other marketing channel, including social and including search. It's a much easier space to sell without feeling salesy. Welcome back to Duo On Air. I'm Abby.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're the X agency turned entrepreneurial team that puts the Duo in Duo Collective. Our boutique organic marketing agency specializes in SEO, social media strategy, and branding.
We're an everyday pair of business besties / marketing experts obsessed with helping our community learn more about what it takes to run a business.
Which is why on Duo On Air, we're not holding anything back. We're giving you all the info we know about how to grow your business organically so you can be the confident CEO you were made to be.
And how to navigate life as a small business owner.
Whether it's on your own or with your best friend by your side, so grab your coffee
or your mimosa, we don't judge,
and settle in for a quick value-packed episode of Marketing Tips. Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 58, and today we're chatting about how to grow your email list and all the different types of leads you can use. So email marketing is actually not a service we offer, but we get a lot of questions on it, and we actually work with our mastermind clients on this, and obviously we have a huge priority of email for our own business. So we don't talk about it probably as much as we should, but I know there's a lot of questions that we get all the time, and just overall, I think cool things that we can share and talk about based on some of those questions that come in. So one of the things I know is a lot of people want to do email, but may not use it to its fullest potential quite yet. We all know about the importance of not putting all of your eggs in one basket and trusting your Instagram followers to be your sole money-making potential, because we all know the algorithm is not going to show your content to everyone, and you need to have something else. So I'm not going to hit that over the head. Everyone knows it.
And also, we do not own these social spaces, and they could go away tomorrow, and you could have just lost your 5,000 plus followers on Instagram. So it's really important to kind of think of it in that mindset that we don't own those platforms and they could be gone tomorrow. Yeah. Therefore, how are we attracting our audience still, or speaking to our audience, or providing that content?
Yeah. So just a few things if you aren't quite on the email train yet. One thing that has never changed over the history of years and years and years is that email marketing revenue charts are growing every single year. There has not been a year where they're well, actually email's looking down. This year might not be the year for email. Every single year the chart is going up. And with that, I mean, it was valued at $7.5 billion in 2020, and it's going to increase to $17.9 billion by 2027. That's an insane
That's a
number.
lot of dollars.
And overall, according to this research that we have that we'll all link in the show notes too, email marketing drives more conversion than any other marketing channel, including social and including search. So yes, I love SEO and I love those opportunities to be found on those platforms, but email is where you nurture, where you build your audience, you build your relationships with your audience. It's a much easier space to sell without feeling salesy. And because of that, it drives insane conversion. And I don't think our business would be in half of the things that we do in our business and the programs that we have, the course, the coaching program, the projects that we do, so many leads come in through our email list. I don't think we would be nearly as successful without it.
No. So I completely agree. So the next thing that we want to talk about, and what this episode is really about, are the leads that we use to get these email subscribers, essentially. So that's what a lead is. It's a form of how you get people to sign up for your email. And the lovely thing about it is that there's multiple ways to get people to sign up for your email. So you have different options, and whatever works best for you or what might work best for your business, there's multiple things that you can do. So one of the things that we do is free resources. So we have a ton of free resources, a lot of SEO keywords, marketing tools, our monthly content calendar. If you follow us on social, you've probably seen us promote that on there. And these are all free resources that we've built for people to sign up for, download, use as a part of their content or for tools for their own business, but it also funnels them into our newsletter system as well. So they continue to follow along via our newsletter, and that is one way that we bring them in, is with those free resources.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people are concerned about giving away too much value on their social channel. If you really are concerned, like, we never think that's a problem, and we talk about that all the time. Value is key. But I think these are your places to give away an immense amount of value. And that's where the free resources can come in with the exchange of your email address. Email addresses are very sacred.
Yes.
People don't like a crazy inbox, and you have to give them real value if you want their email address, and you have to hold yourself accountable to the value that you're promising to.
And I think too, when you're thinking about these free resources and that value that you're giving with that, think about how that could potentially turn into a client too. I think a lot of people are scared, like, if I give away too much information, they'll never sign up with any of my services because I've given them everything, which isn't true. You're not giving them everything. And if they truly see the value in those free resources that you are providing, they're going to come to you eventually when they need you for those services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wouldn't shy away from that.
Yeah, absolutely not. And if you are sometimes we can overcomplicate this process of oh, my free resource is going to take me forever to build. It's got to be perfect. I think we've learned this as we go. We've definitely done that in the early days. We had to make this resource absolutely perfect. And it's not true. You don't have to make it this huge, beautiful masterpiece. But there are so many things that we've done, like speaking engagements and resources for Facebook Live events, different things that we've created for those purposes that we have funneled and created as exclusive freebies, which is great because the work is done or maybe needs to be slightly tweaked. So if you don't know where to start with some of this and you're not sure what resource you should create, or you don't want to pour too much energy, or you don't have the time to actually do it, I think you can think back to, have you created anything already? What have you created, whether that be for a client or for a customer or for some other speaking engagement? If there's anything else that you've created that has value to it, potentially think about using that as a free resource opportunity.
Yeah, we've done that so many times. We'll create some content for a speaking engagement, and we're like, wow, this is really great stuff. We could take even just this part of this speaking opportunity and make it a freebie. It doesn't have to be the entire speech that we gave or the thing that we spoke on, but it could be even just a piece of it. So you're not recreating the wheel.
Repurpose that content, please.
Yes.
So the second one is, so we're just going through a few different lead ideas. These are all leads that we currently use in our business. So over the years, we've accumulated these and they all still run. There's no reason why you have to launch a resource and close it off. All this stuff can be evergreen and continue running for you. And we have a few ideas for you too that are other leads that we don't do, but could be really great ideas to implement into your business to help grow your list. So the second one that we do is we have a quiz. So how strong is your social gram, which is really fun because we're big coffee people and it resonates with that and ties back to our brand, and it kind of educates you on just how strong your social strategy is. And we do it in a fun and playful way. And so with this quiz, we built it with Interact Quiz Builder. We've had them on the podcast before and talked about the importance of this. And quizzes are they're fun. So fun. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like a curated thing, and it makes you feel a little bit more I don't know, special, or it's actually curated for you. And that's the point of the quiz, is that it is curated for you. So based on the answers that you provide, we're going to send you the resource that makes most sense based on what those answers are and where you might be in your business.
Yep. So we have 3 different outcomes for that quiz. It's you're a strong, a shot of espresso. Yeah. You're really strong. You're pour over. Yeah, I think pour over is pretty good. And then the last one is you're a little watered down with milk.
Yeah.
Which was funny. But each of those have a unique like free resource associated with it of how to up-level your social based on where you fell. So it's so much more customized. We even experimented with offering like unique mini services within each of those, which is kind of fun too. So there's so many different avenues you can go in. And if you haven't yet listened to that episode, it's episode number 29. That one we talk about how to simplify this process, because I think you can go down a crazy rabbit hole of making this really super complex quiz, and you don't have to. And they have so many templates now that offer you the ability to not have to start from scratch, and you can leverage a template to make your life a heck of a lot easier, which I wish I would have done for our first quiz.
And we have another quiz on our shop page too, and it's just a little prompt like, not sure what tool you need, take this quiz and save 10%. So you can even make some sort of enticing little hook there about like saving 10% on a product. Like, not sure what product you need from my online store, take this quiz, I'll help you choose what product is best for you and your business, save 10%. So you can really incentivize it that way too if you wanted. You don't have to. You could just have a freebie be at the end and it's a downloadable PDF or something, but you could also incentivize by having some sort of a savings.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one that we have is our email challenge. So we have a 5-day backlink building email challenge, which was something I like dreamed about for a year and then finally finished. It took way too long, which it doesn't have to. Again, you do not have to overcomplicate this, but this one is really honestly simple. It's a workflow that's set up in Flowdesk. The meat and the juice of everything in there is delivered in the email. And it's so simple to set up because it's just a different welcome sequence, but it's offering real value. And this is something where, again, when you are getting someone's email address, you need to understand that like this is a coveted thing. Like, people are going to unsubscribe if they don't see the value in it. So you got to make sure you deliver the value that you're promising. So email challenges can be a really fun way to do that without needing to do like a crazy designed template. Like, I'd say this is the easiest way in if you are not a designer and you just want to share value. I think doing a simple email challenge where you offer and you pop into their inbox every day with resourceful, insightful information that people are craving can be really powerful.
Yeah. And I think that's where some people might get hung up to with like emails or newsletters like that, is like, I'm not creative, or I can't build out this template, I don't have time to do that. But emails don't always have to be super pretty and image hefty. They can strictly be super valuable content. Sometimes that's what people prefer. You can have a mix of both. We usually have a mix of both. And I think it's nice. But if you just don't have that resource or that time, or that's just something that you know you would never get around to, that's fine. Just provide that content in written form. It doesn't have to be a ton of images, a ton of, visuals. It can literally just be words.
Yeah, it can be simple. The value is what people want. You have to think about that value.
Yeah.
So the next piece of it is just your newsletter overall. Like, how often are you going to show up? So coming with that, if someone's sharing their email address, they need to know that they're getting what they expect. And if you're popping in way more often than you have told them, they're likely going to unsubscribe. If you never show up, when you finally do show up, they're likely going to unsubscribe. So you really need to hold true to what you're promising. And I think our weekly newsletter that we have this expectation. We're popping in every Tuesday. We're sharing one like meaty tip every single week. You also get to see the other resources that we have, and every month you're going to get the social content calendar from us. Like, there's expectations that people know that they're going to get, and they see those expectations at the end of their welcome sequence. That very last email that they get from us says, here's what you can expect from us moving forward, X, Y, and Z. And everyone knows that. And if they still unsubscribe, great, you're not our person. That's totally fine. No hard feelings. Right. But it's really setting yourself up for success, and you'll see better conversions and open rates because of it.
And I think people appreciate your transparency when it comes to how long or how often I'll be showing up in your inbox, because I know when I sign up for email newsletters, I want to know that. I want to know, like, are you going to be in my inbox 5 times a week? Because that's probably a little overwhelming for me, and I don't know if I could handle that. But, we make it very clear we're going to be in your inbox every Tuesday. And now we have promotions and stuff that we run every once in a while where we'll be popping in and out, maybe a little bit more. But you can definitely know that you'll see our newsletter every Tuesday, and this is what it's about, and this is what you can expect. So I think just having that transparency is super important because, like Abby said, emails and your inbox are a sacred place and sacred time for you, and people really like to protect those as much as they can.
Yeah. And then don't, like, as we talk through these leads too, don't create just anything. Like, I am very passionate about reading books. I love to read books. Like, I read them all the time. And I think it would be super cool to create a free resource that's just literally all of my favorite books, which actually is a blog post, by the way. But all of my favorite books in one list that people can download and read. But does that relate back to any of our offerings? No. Anyone who's going to sign up for this list, maybe they resonate with us, and maybe it's a good, fun little resource to give them. But at the end of the day, is that really going to drive conversions for us? Not likely. So it's really thinking about what are the things that you can create where the person on the receiving end, would they hire you for something that you have or something that you sell? And if it's not doing that, then it's likely not a good resource to create. So really think about the strategy behind it.
It's kind of like the content that you put out on social too. You're not just going to post for the sake of posting, or we hope you're not doing that anyways, because that is, what we teach against that. But you just have to be very intentional about it, because otherwise you're going to lose them because your content just isn't relevant to what it is that you do and the reason that they signed up.
Mm-hmm. So a few other quick ideas. So those are kind of like our core ideas of what we do. We have free resources, just PDF downloads. We have a couple quizzes. We have an email challenge, and our newsletter overall is a lot of people just sign up for our newsletter without needing anything else because we offer a lot of value in it.
And these are ongoing things too. Like our quiz is always on our site. People can access that whenever. Our free resources are always out there. The email challenge is just an always on thing, and our newsletter is something that we work on obviously every week and batch, but it's not like once these things are done and out there, they're done and out there, and they do a lot of the heavy lifting and work for you.
Yeah. And we're very strategic about where we put these resources. Usually our highest priority resource will be in our homepage pop-up. On our shop page is where like our shop page quiz is. Our little banner up top will be showcasing another freebie. And then we also include all of them in our Instagram links so that if we call anything out in a social post, people can easily go and find the resource. So we really think about that. And we actually, for our blog page, you'll see a different pop-up because we want those people that come in to know about us on the podcast. So like we have very different call to actions across different areas of our business. And I think you have to kind of be strategic about like, okay, the people who are coming into this part of my business and on this page or this part of my website, what do they want or where do I want them to go? Because you can kind of cater that experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So a few other lead ideas are newsletter swaps, which are super fun. We did this if you've been on our newsletter for a while, you've likely seen it. It's probably a few months ago now, maybe half a year ago.
Yeah, almost a while ago.
But we did a swap with our friend Sarah over at Between the Lines Copy, where she took over our email list for a day. We took over hers. And in both of our emails, we shared free resources to get that list on our email list. So if you came from BTL, thanks for being here. But that is something that can be so powerful because you can show up with like-minded audiences who likely aren't subscribers on yours too. So that can just be really fun.
That was a huge success. Yeah. And it's just fun. It's just a little different, and you're kind of talking to like-minded audiences, but maybe a little bit different of an audience, and you can bring in those new people too.
Yeah. I was a little nervous at first because I was like, man, Sarah, they're going to see how good you are at writing copy because this is what you do. My email list is going to be like, dang it, we have to hear from Abby again.
Oh, stop. No, it was great.
It was fun though. So newsletter swaps, Discount codes, really great way. Obviously, if you are giving people physical money for their email address, that's great. You can do it to unlock a video. So say you want to, you have a webinar that you've posted a while back and you want to give other people access to it. You can give them access to it by simply sharing their email address, and they'll unlock the video to go access that. So you can do that very, very easily within YouTube. You just make a private YouTube video. You upload your video, you make it private in YouTube, and you have a special link, and then you can set up an email that goes to people so that they can watch it. So that can be a really fun way to repurpose content.
Mm-hmm. The last one that we have on here, we kind of feel a little indifferent about, but it could be sharing your pricing. So if you don't have your pricing on your website and somebody lands on your website and they want to learn about your pricing, you could ask them for their email address. And
we've seen this a number of times. We've done it before. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. I feel like the reason we maybe don't like it is it maybe just feels a little salesy and a little less authentic than we want to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's something that you can do. It's not...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can try it out. I would love to know too if anyone does it. Let us know, because we would love to see the other side of it. I can't absolutely give you a reason as to why I don't think I like it. I just don't like it.
And maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a personal preference too.
Yeah,
like when we land on sites and somebody wants my email and I want to find out their pricing, I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll just go somewhere else.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is salesy. I'm not sure what it is.
But if there's people out there that do it and love it and it's very successful, we would love to hear more.
Yeah, I know, for real. So, and then after, there are so many other ideas, I'm sure, than just the ideas that we've listed here. But the biggest mistake that we see is after someone's created a resource is that they don't talk about it enough. Like if you want to grow your email list, you need to talk about this resource all the time. It needs to have pins associated to it. You need to tell people about it when you're recording on guest podcasts. You need to
jump into your stories.
Yep, jump in stories,
post
social,
about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
And it might seem a little aggressive or like a little redundant, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is all I'm talking about. But you have to remember that not everybody's going to see that content, right? So like people that are on your stories that might not see it on your podcast. Like you're going to catch different people at different times and on different platforms. So don't feel like you're sounding super repetitive and redundant, because more than not
everyone's going to see it.
No.
Yeah, for sure. So if you are really passionate about growing your email list in 2023, we highly recommend just choosing one of these. Like just take one from the list that we talked about today and create something new. We have this like personal goal for ourselves and a lot of our clients to try and create like a new resource a quarter or at least a couple times a year, just so you're continuing to drive fresh leads to your website. But that doesn't mean your old stuff has to be like closed out. You can still continue sharing that, because even that SEO keyword freebie that we have, that still is our top performing freebie, and it was created 2.5 years ago, probably.
If I look back at it right now, I'd probably be like, oh my gosh, Abby.
No, you redesigned it.
Oh, did
we
I?
did tweak
Okay.
it. Yes, we did tweak it. We retweaked it. So that is important. Like you do still need to like make refreshes and stuff like that, but overall, those things can still work really well for you. So
and last a while.
Yeah. But it's still good to like refresh, drive new business, keep growing, and that can just be a really powerful way to grow. If you like this episode, please be sure to share it with a friend and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes dropping every Monday. Plus, if you haven't already, please go ahead and leave us a review, and don't hesitate to share any new episode ideas. We absolutely love hearing from you and creating this content for you. See you next week.